MVP. That's one, right field. Forget about it. Rangers strike first. Goes after the first one, drills a high fly ball. Left center field. This game is tied. From Javier, Seager hits a high fly ball. Deep right field. A bomb into first. One swing. Drive. It's tied. Corey Seager smashes the ball. Down the line. Goodbye. Now Seager to right center field. Way back there. Gone again. Corey Seager does it again. It's Texas Rangers win the World Series. The Willie Mays Most Valuable Player Trophy presented by Chevrolet. Is there any doubt? Corey Seager.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Right on Rangers Live, coming at you in the top of the ninth inning with the Rangers leading 4-2 here. Going to give you the late game reaction right into the post game. It's going to be great. Rangers, thanks to a Jake Berger bomb, go up double 4-2, 3-2 for a long time in this one. It really feels like this game should probably be like 7 or 8-2. But here we are in typical Rangers fashion. Kyle, I'm 100% with you. If you could go not 0 for whatever they are with runners in scoring position, like seriously, I don't think it's 0 for 11 right now. I was about to say, I don't think I'm exaggerating. 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position. This game could be a lot better than 4-2. But you know what? We'll take it. We'll take whatever lead we can get at this point. Sam Haggerty, Sam Swaggerty, as I like to call him, up to bat right now. Haggerty 1 for 4 on the day, 2 strikeouts. Did put the ball in play and get on base his last time up, but technically gets the error or fielder's choice, not credited with the hit. Big country in the ball game right now. Haggerty, this one's going to be a tough play, but second baseman makes it. Infield was playing in. Garcia, the second baseman for the Nats, had to go back on that one. Haggerty is retired, 1 for 5 on the day. That's probably how his evening, his afternoon is going to end. A little surprised. I didn't know if the Rangers were going to be able to get this game in with how the weather started out. Tarp was on the field. Predictions were it was going to be raining quite a bit today in D.C., but it's been able to hold off. Corey Seager up to bat right now. Drop a comment. Drop a question. We'll be happy to try and get to it. Definitely will be locked in a lot more on comments as the game comes to an end, bringing you the live play-by-play and commentary. Hopefully you got the game on the TV at home, on the laptop. I don't know how y'all watch, but I appreciate that a bunch of y'all will tune into the show live with me and watch it at home at the same time. Makes it more fun that way. I wish copyright wasn't so restrictive. I would 1,000,000% put it on, but I'm not trying to get any copyright strikes or get blocked here. I know I always get requests to put the game on. Sometimes I get the audio in there, but for now, watch the game. Hopefully I'm not too far ahead. Corey Seager, man, in the middle of, I think, an 0 for 22 or 0 for 23. Sieg's just really struggling right now. Be nice to see him come through here, build some positive momentum into the ball game on Tuesday. Monday, of course, tomorrow, an off day. Brad, what's up, man? Thanks for hanging out. Hey, appreciate a bunch of y'all tuning in. Big country, Andrew Chafin on the mound against Corey Seager. Corey's down 1-2 right now. Here's the pitch. Seager is going to ground it. Looks like it might be a double play ball. There's 1 and there's 2. Seager retired. Chafin doing the stretch there. He's pitched pretty well in this series against the Rangers. You know, he had some good moments for Texas, didn't he? He had some great moments. At the end, he really scuffled, really became unreliable towards the end of his tenure with the Rangers. Would have been nice to have brought him back. Would have been nice, but I do think that they made the right decision. He was going to be, I think, about a $6 or $7 million contract. They were trying to stay underneath the luxury tax threshold. I think it was meant to be, but always liked big country. We're going to the bottom of the ninth. Rangers trying to close out a 2-run lead. Yeah, Austin, I have no idea what's happening right now. No idea, man, but I'll take it. Good to see you, brother. Hey, 44 Carbine, what's good, man? Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. We keep going. People left on base is maddening, especially a couple innings ago. You had bases loaded, 1 out. You had 2 runners on, no out. It is maddening, 100%. I'm with you, John. Extremely, extremely frustrating. Appreciate seeing you, brother. Thanks for hanging out. They did make the right decision on Chafin. I couldn't agree more. I like Big Country. I love the personality. I just personally think that they made the right call. You're not trying to pay Chafe $7 million or whatever it was. I think that they did have a club option on him. You're not trying to pay that. What's going on with Seager? I think the timing is just off. I think he probably should have taken the minor league rehab assignment. I know hindsight's 2020. Siegs is not a guy that usually does the rehab stuff, but I think he definitely probably could have stood to go down to AAA and got the timing back. Michael, they're not going to trade Seager. There's no way. And look, you don't trade Corey Seager going through 2 or 3 bad weeks. Look, we've seen the Rangers put up with a lot worse than what Corey Seager's going through. Adolis Garcia. Like, am I right? Like, come on now. We're not getting rid of Corey Seager because he's going through 2 or 3 weeks of a rough stretch here since coming back from the IL. The Rangers have put up with much, much worse than what Corey Seager's doing. We'll give Seager the benefit of the doubt. It's going to be impressive if you get 2 wins here in Washington, considering what you've gotten from Corey Seager. Normally, Corey's this bad up at the dish. You're not going to get a couple of wins, but I'm glad and feel fortunate Rangers are in the spot that they're at. Real quick here, right on Rangers, we cover everything sports, but we put a big emphasis on all the teams we love from the great state of Texas, including the Rangers and especially the Rangers during the 2025 MLB season. Thank you for choosing Right on Rangers for all of your Texas Rangers content. Drop a comment, drop a question. We'll get to a lot of it post-game. I'll try and get as much as I can in the chat during the game itself, but we'll be much more locked in post-game. Robert Garcia on to close this one out, I presume. 4-2 Rangers, and Garcia has got Rosario now down 0-2. Hey, they brought it back, right? Bottom right corner of your screen, if you're watching the game, they did not have this up yesterday. I don't know if they were trying something new, if it was technical difficulties. Seager, nifty little play. Look, I will say this. Even though Seager has not been great up at the dish, he has made some nice plays out in the field. That was not the easiest play to make on a short hop with a quick runner. Seager, backhand, tosses it over. And look who it is. Nathaniel Lowe up to bat right now. I'm glad that Nate is batting in a deficit right now with no ability to tie the game. He's going to serve one into left field. Osuna! He should have had that. Nate's going to get a double out of this, a cheap double. Alejandro has had a rough weekend, man. He's had a rough weekend. And y'all know I'm pretty high on Alejandro Osuna. He has had a rough weekend, man. Nate should have been retired on that play. That's going to be a cheap hit for Nate. He hit it well. A patented Nate Lowe serving it into left field. And that's a play Osuna probably makes 9 times out of 10. Hit him in the palm of the glove. Yeah, he has just had a rough weekend. He is in the middle, I believe, of a 1 for 18 slump. 1 for 18 slump, and he has 2 strikeouts on the day, average down to 154. Rough weekend for Osuna. They do need to trade Duran. I'm out on trading Josh Smith. That's a big no for me. Too versatile. Although I don't love what they're doing. I don't love what they're doing with Josh Smith at first base. Didn't Berger already get a day off at first base this week? Why does Berger need a second day off at first base, man? Maybe something's ailing him? No clue what they're doing with that at all. All right, runner on second base, 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. Josh Bell is going to foul this one. Looks like out of play. And we have a 1-2 count. Nate Lowe at second base doesn't mean a lot right now. Beyond the hitter up at the plate, single, a double, it would not be ideal, but you know what? At least we're not going to see the Nats take the lead with one swing of the bat. Garcia just focus on Bell here. Switch hitter, 0 for 3 on the day. Second stint with the Nats. Josh Bell, of course, he's going to get rung up on a pitch that was outside. Garcia really fortunate on that call. That was not a good strike 3 call from the home plate umpire. Not great, man. This is where you'd love to see the challenge system. Look, I feel bad even when we get these kinds of calls. It's ridiculous. That was not a strike 3 call. Jonah Heim, just an excellent framer back there. A lot of that is Jonah Heim. I mean, seriously, his framing ability, we will take that. Adams is going to wave through strike 1. Again, love that they brought back bottom right corner, the batter, the pitcher, the number of pitches, what the batter's done today. I don't know if they were just having a technical difficulty yesterday or what. 0-1 pitch, Garcia to Adams. Outside, 95-mile-an-hour heater. I'm watching on RSN right now, yes. Watching on RSN. Well, MLB TV technically, right? MLB TV technically. Depressed Rockies fan here. Hey, man, appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you tuning in. Rockies, we got a little revenge on them. Got a little revenge on them earlier this season. We actually got swept by the Rocks last year at Coors Field. So, look, Rockies not having a great season this year. I do love the Colorado Rockies, though. When I was in college, a bunch of my buddies that I played baseball with were Rockies fans. I went to school in Nebraska, obviously right next door to Colorado. And look, I really enjoyed watching the Rockies in that 2007, was it? 07 run where they were just on fire. We're talking about, you know, the Matt Holliday days. That was just a phenomenal run from the Rockies there. So Rockies, to me, always will cheer for them. Down to our final strike here. Let's see if Robert Garcia can slam the door. How much for the young bobblehead? Not for sale, Hayden. Not for sale. Strike 3, and there's the ball game. Garcia pumps the fist, emphatically yells, and the Rangers take the series in Washington, D.C. 4-2 is your final score. And we are going to have a happy flight to Minnesota. Off day tomorrow. Beautiful, man. Cue the I Like Texas music, even though we are on the road. I don't even care. Rangers win a series. And after an abysmal series down in Tampa Bay, nice to get this one back. Rangers really should have rounded out this week 500 for the road trip, or at least for these 2 road trips. But you know what? We'll have to settle for 2-4. I'm just glad we won a series, man. And Houston lost today, so we gain a game on the Stros. Maybe the Angels can beat up on the Mariners again. It's a good day. It's an amazing day. We always say that. Rangers win, Astros lose. Seattle is beating LA right now by 1 run, going to the bottom of the 7th. Woo! Here we go. We did win, Christian. We did win. Been a Rangers fan. What's good, man? Denman Farms, what's good? Been a Rangers fan since basically the turn of the century. So like 2000, maybe a little before. Early 90s, late 90s, I should say, maybe. But we'll call it about 25 years. Hey, appreciate that, Christian. Appreciate the kind words, man. I love doing these lives, and you guys make it fun. You guys make it a lot of fun. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Got the win, man. Got the win. I did not hear what was going on with Jacob Latz. If any of y'all heard, I was doing a bunch of stuff around the house today. I had the game going in the background. Now that they have the pitch clock, I used to kind of like it back in the day with the games. I'm not the type of guy to just sit around and watch every single pitch unless I'm doing this with you. But when I'm watching the game and I'm not live, usually I got it on pretty loud and I'm running around doing a bunch of stuff, especially on the weekends. You used to be able to get a lot more done in between pitches. you got to watch one pitch, and unless it's a foul ball, you got to hustle back if you're going to do anything else. So look, I did not catch Latz. I know he went out, and I didn't hear what the follow-up was. So I'll check and see if there's any news on Latz. If any of y'all have got, information on that, let me know. Looks like Sports Illustrated put out something. And let's see. Texas has not announced why Latz left the game, according to Sports Illustrated. Shoot. Can anyone join the Discord? So basically what I've got set up, guys, is a monthly subscription, $2.99, $2.99 a month on TikTok and on YouTube. If you would like to be a part of the Discord, you have to subscribe. That's kind of the one exclusive thing that I have. Everything else is free. The lives, responding to comments. I don't really do the sub-only lives thing. But that Discord is the one thing that I've kind of kept exclusive to the sub. So if you want to be a part of the Discord, we'd love to have you. That $2.99 goes directly to supporting me and the channel. $2.99 is $2.99. I totally get it. But if you feel led, if you want to support me and the channel in just a small way and be a part of the Discord, hit that sub button right next to the chat. In YouTube, I will drop in that link as well. I think we got some paid subscribers and members hanging out right now with us. It's been great. It's a good community we got going. And just a little way, if you feel led to give back, you're able to do it. So keep that in mind. Armand, if you want to be a part of it, that is something that you will need to subscribe for. Hit that sub button right next to the chat. And then in YouTube, again, I'll drop it in the comments for you guys. Perfect. There it is, YouTube, if you guys want to be a part of that. Thank you so much. Let me check YouTube comments right quick. I got to clean up some of the mess a little bit here. Let me see. I think we got everything. Excellent. I think we got everything. I had to get rid of a couple of nonsensical comments and people that are just trolling. So, look, I'm kind of anybody's welcome, but if you're just posting nonsense in the comments, see you later. Kendrick, what's good, man? I'm glad we're back to the winning ways as well. Let's go Rangers. Look, we could be picky about how they won this ball game. We could 100% be picky about how they won, but they won. And that is what's important. Yes, this game probably should have been 10-2, 11-2, but it was 4-2, and the Rangers got to win. So we'll be a little picky about some of the things that we noticed. I've already kind of started to give you a little bit of my analysis of some different decisions and things like that, but we'll get into everything here in a little bit. I just want to say thank you to everybody for hanging out, man. Appreciate everybody that's followed so far. I see on TikTok we've had a few people follow since the live has started. Thank you. Thank you. Means a lot. We keep going. Do I remember the great what if outfielder Joey Gallo? Like, yeah, what if he didn't strike out 200 plus times in a season, like that kind of Joey Gallo? Yeah, man. Look, I love Joey Gallo. I really do. Love Joey Gallo. But dude just could not make contact consistently enough. When he did, it went like 120 miles an hour, usually a pop fly all the way to the track or 30 rows deep into the bleachers, man. But I would have loved if Joey Gallo would have worked out. I've said this often about Joey. Last thing that I'll say before we move on. Joey should have taken that contract that he got offered. I know that Scott Boras kind of muddied that up a little bit. I feel bad. Joey could have probably taken that deal. What was it, in 19 or 20? I forget when it was offered. Maybe even 21. I think the Rangers were offering him like a 4-year extension, and that would have made him a Ranger through 27 or 28. He 100%, I think, probably regrets not taking that deal that the Rangers offered him. But at that point, he was having a nice little run in his career. Before some of the injuries, he even had some MVP type, like, first halves. Joey Gallo got to be kicking himself. I feel bad for him. I guess he's trying to catch on as a pitcher right now, though. So good luck to him. Yeah, 2021 extension. So, Antonio, thank you. You know that's got to be one of the biggest fumbles from Scott Boras and Joey Gallo, too, right? That would have been a nice extension for Gallo to take. I think it would have made him a Ranger through at least through this year, through 2026, maybe even 2027. through 2025, 2026, I mean, and then unrestricted free agent in 27. Yeah, look, back-to-back 40 home run seasons. He wasn't a scrub. Wasn't a scrub. Hello, win column. Yes, sir, Brad. Great day when the Rangers win and the Astros lose. I'm going to edit that comment just a little bit, my friend. It's an amazing day when the Rangers win and the Astros lose. It's an amazing day today. Jake, yes, sir. Pitcher Joey Gallo, 100%. 100%. We'll see what happens with Joey in the White Sox organization. Is he even, pitching in games yet? That's something I want to look up. Is Joey Gallo even pitching in games yet at this point? Or is he still just trying to figure it out? I know MLB kind of made a big deal about it right when he signed. Let's see. He's transitioning to a pitcher. Let's see. No real news here. No real news. He struggled in spring training. But now he's switching to pitching. He got cut by the White Sox. I don't know. I guess he's a free agent now. I'm just trying to read and look it up real quick. Yeah, I think that's right. Hey, Justin, appreciate you, man. Thank you for the gift. Yeah, he's not with Chicago anymore. I think he's just free agent trying to master the art of pitching out of nowhere. I mean, I think he did pitch for Bishop Gorman here in Las Vegas. I think he was a little bit of a pitcher in high school, but then after that, dropped it. Rent free, huh? No, just stating facts. Astros lost today, bud. What's hilarious is Astros fans try and pretend like they don't scoreboard watch it all either. Come on now. I follow a few Astros boards. I don't do any trolling or anything. It's just not worth it. I follow multiple Astros groups. They're always talking about what the Rangers are doing. Somebody always posts about what the Rangers are doing. It's kind of hilarious when Astros fans try to pretend like they don't care about any other team in the division. So, yeah, rent free all you want. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's see. Nomar Mazara home run. That was crazy. That's probably the longest home run ever, right? It's probably the longest home run ever hit in Rangers history, is it not? We keep going. Hey, all good, man. All good. I don't even hide it. I love scoreboard watching. It's never too early to scoreboard watch. In fact, I would submit, are you really a diehard if you're not scoreboard watching every game? I'm always looking to see what the Mariners did, what the Astros did, what the Angels did. But look, Rangers still obviously got some work to do. They are not one game out at this point. They got a couple of games, a few games. What is it, 4 or 5 at this point? We'll check the standings. We'll check everything out here in just a second. But look, again, appreciate all y'all hanging out. The Shields was going to be the next thing. Yikes. Yeah, we've had a lot of outfielders that have been highly touted at some point or another, and it just hasn't worked out. You know, obviously, we had Delino, that's one of them. Mazara, Gallo, Leody, Taveras. There's a lot of guys that just haven't worked out, a lot of highly touted outfielders. Now, this is a great transition, man. John, thank you. Evan Carter, I know that there is probably still a jury out on him, especially among Rangers fans. I know some of y'all maybe wouldn't mind moving off of Evan Carter. I think that's a little silly at this point myself, but Evan Carter, a triple shy of the cycle. Jake Berger was a triple shy of the cycle as well today. Evan Carter hit that 2-run bomb to get the party started. That was huge. And Evan was in a 1-for-17 slump, man. A 1-for-17. So for him to come out, get 3 hits today, huge, man. Absolutely huge. And to get things going as well, right? I mean, that's the thing with the Rangers. You know, sometimes they'll score immediately in a game, and then they won't score very much afterwards. They did tack on a couple runs today, but then you have those games where they just can't break the seal, man. Like, they will not score runs until the late innings, and then you start wondering if they're going to get shut out. So I think for Evan to really get the party started with the 2-run bomb in the second inning, it just made the entire game feel a lot better. Kind of like what they did yesterday for DeGrom Haggerty gets the party started. Simeon came up with some big knocks, and you were quickly out to a 2-0 lead. It just makes a big, big difference. It really does. All right, y'all. Standings, by the way, 5 games, 5.5 games out, 4.5 games out of a wild card spot. So look, within striking distance. Jeremy, appreciate the follow, man. Thank you so much. Thanks for hanging out. We keep going. Carter's a great guy. I agree. I've never met him. That's awesome, Dale, that you got to meet him. But look, I've been very impressed with the young man that he is. Very well spoken. Just a quality dude from what it seems like to me. So I absolutely think, Evan Carter, stand-up guy. Keep going. Hey, appreciate you, Chase. Thank you so much, man. First gift you've ever sent, brother. Appreciate that. Thank you. Very generous. Need a Yankees win to stay ahead of Boston in the wild card race. Let's go to the wild card race. Let's go to it because I haven't looked at the wild card standings at all. I look at pretty much divisional standings. It's a little early to look at wild card and worry, but look, I definitely will look and see how far are we out of the wild card. Can't say I haven't memorized who's in front. So, Philip, let me check this out real quick. You got me interested. So, Cleveland, Royals, Mariners, Angels, Red Sox, Rangers. And then the next distant team behind us is the Orioles, who are 3.5 back of us in the wild card standings. Keep going. Good stuff. Is Josh Smith going to be an all-star? I'll say probably not. You know, if you are not very well known and you're trying to be an all-star, you've really got to kill it. And looking at his stats, they're just not standout enough. 269 average, 735 OPS. Like, at this point, I got to say it's going to take a big-time heater for Josh Smith to make it to the all-star game. 100%. We keep going. How far back are we in the division? We're 4.5, 5.5. I just had it, man. Looks like 5.5 back. And let's see. The Astros are playing the White Sox next, unfortunately. So, we're going to have to keep up when we play the Twins here. Astros looks like they have the day off tomorrow as well. And then they will play the White Sox in Houston. And then we are going to be playing the Twins on the road. And then we'll be headed back to Globe Life after that. And this has been a long road trip. You know those boys are going to be ready to get home after that Twin series. Hopefully they can stay focused, lock in, win a couple games in Minnesota. Sweep is always a lot to ask for, but I would love for them to win a couple of games. Go 2 out of 3 in mini. Go 2 out of 3. And at that point, head back home happy, ready to have a good homestand. Who cares about the division when you do better with the wild card? Antonio, that's a golden quote, man. That's gold. Shoot. Seriously, though. I mean, of course, the Rangers in 23, they didn't need no stinking AL West division. Don't need no AL West crown. Give us that World Series crown, baby. That's all you needed. I'm not super worried about winning the AL West. Do I think it's good to win the AL West? Yes. I do think that should be a goal. I think there is something to be said about the rhythm, having all that time off, however many days it is. But, at the same time, I think the Dodgers last year, look, they had the time off and they still ended up winning it all. Keep going. Yeah, Philip, thank you for backing me up, man. Yeah, guys, we don't duck anybody here at the show. I mean, look, I'm going to pass over the nonsense, but if you had a comment and I missed it, please repost it. I'll definitely try and get to it again. Thank you. All right, let me check YouTube comments. Lowe had 3 hits against us today. Thankfully, his hits were with no one on base. Dude can still hit. I don't think I take him over Berger, though. Look, if you compare Nate Lowe and Jake Berger side by side, and there's no other factors, you don't factor in age, you don't factor in contract, you don't factor in years of control, you don't factor in anything. It's pretty close. It's pretty close. Again, we're not factoring in how old is Nate Lowe? How old is Jake Berger? How many years left on the contract does Jake Berger have? How many years left on the contract does Nate Lowe have? How much is Nate Lowe making? How much is Jake Berger making? If we throw all those other things out that I just said, it's pretty dang close. I do like that Jake Berger has more pop than Nate Lowe. Nate Lowe's actually pretty strong. I mean, I've watched Nate Lowe hit BP a couple of times when he was with the Rangers. The dude can rake. But in the game, he kind of is more of this like oppo slap hitter. Jake Berger has got legit pop and power. And look, his advanced metrics, Jake Berger's, are better than Nate Lowe's. I'm probably still taking Jake Berger. Even not considering any of those other factors, I'm going to take Jake Berger. Berg, by the way, 3 for 4 today. Looks like he is a little behind Nate in terms of average. He is a little behind Nate in terms of, actually, he's ahead of Nate with OBP. So Berger, even with Nate's 3 hits today, has a higher OPS. Berger 675, Lowe 667. And I kind of wonder, is Jake Berger a little bit of a better first baseman than Nate Lowe? I don't know, man. Berg has been impressive at first base. It's been impressive. I have been wowed by Jake Berger's ability to transition from third base to first base like he did in the offseason. Nate Lowe had a drop today. That was almost a little bit of a backbreaker. I mean, look, I think it kind of was. Wasn't that drop that Nate Lowe had today in the inning where we scored the 3rd run? I don't know, man. Should have taken Berger for a home run today. Bob, yeah, Berger from St. Louis. I do remember that. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate the comments. Yeah, Berger is definitely a guy that I have really grown to like this year. I think he's just a great dude, does a lot of community service. Look, he was doing community service work on the road in Tampa Bay. They were talking about it on Ranger Sports Network before the game. Berger is very, very solid all around. I don't think, he's going to be perennial all-star. Maybe. I think you got to have a little bit of a higher average, but he's definitely going to be a guy that hits 25 plus bombs a year. And a big insurance run today from Jake Berger. I think overall, the Berger for Nate Lowe thing, it wasn't like they swapped them outright. Nate Lowe was traded for Robert Garcia, and then Berger obviously was traded for some prospects, but it's all worked out. Like anybody that says that the Nate Lowe getting rid of him was the worst thing ever or not a great move for the organization, just can't go there with you. Can't go there with you. Keep going. Who do I want to win the College World Series? Look, I got to be honest, and some of y'all know this. I know we got a lot of different Texas college fans. I know we got some Longhorns fans. I know we got some A&M fans, and we all unite under the Rangers umbrella. But I think some of y'all know a bunch of my family went to UT. And so I do follow the Longhorns, enjoy cheering for them, watch them. Everybody's welcome. Look, I have a bunch of best friends, kind of like with Houston, bunch of best friends that are Aggies fans. We like to give each other a hard time, but we keep it pretty respectful when they're playing each other. It's tough. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. When we're doing, November football and A&M and Texas are playing, you surely don't want to lose, but that group chat is fire, man, between all my buddies when A&M and Texas are going at it in football. So look, that's all to say. Texas obviously took a dump against UTSA, and I can't say I've been super locked into college baseball. Look, as maybe weird as it sounds coming from a Texas fan, one of my best friends is from Arkansas, lives there, big Arkansas Razorbacks fan. Are they still in it? I'll probably cheer for them at this point. I don't know. That's probably who I would cheer for. I know Arkansas and Texas kind of going way back are big rivals, but I'm probably cheering for Arkansas at this point. Rangers need to wake up ASAP. Well, at least they did today. Hook 'em, man. LSU. Look, I know there's going to be some Rangers on the LSU train. Josh Smith played for LSU. Who else on the Rangers? I thought there was a couple other guys that played for LSU on the Rangers. We'll see. Arkansas, let me see who's left here. Teams remaining. I just want to see the whole field. if possible. So 2025, it's Arkansas, Auburn. Oh, they already have the field set. Arkansas, Auburn, North Carolina, LSU, Oregon State, Florida State, Coastal Carolina, Central Connecticut. Central Connecticut made the College World Series. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably cheer for Arkansas. Look, LSU, Arkansas, if they get to play each other, that's going to be a fun game, man. Oh, I don't know what the brackets look like, but if Arkansas and LSU get to play each other, that's going to be a fire matchup. Absolutely. So pretty solid field. Definitely some big names missing. Oregon State, clearly big. They're so good at baseball. Arkansas, 100%. But, Florida State, not always in the College World Series. Coastal Carolina, Central Connecticut, good for them, man. What are my thoughts on Jacob Webb? I would say nervous every time he goes in the game. Kind of like we like to call with the Jose Leclercs and, some of our other relievers, barf bag pitchers, man. He's a barf bag pitcher for me. I feel like even when he's getting a 1, 2, 3 inning, you feel like at any moment it's going to melt down. I don't know. Feel like at any moment it's going to go wrong for Jacob Webb. So I'm not super in love with Webb and what he brings to the bullpen, but you know who I do love? Hobie Milner. I love Chris Martin. I mean, obviously he's had some health concerns, but I love C-Mart. Sean Armstrong, I think he has gotten out of the barf bag tier. I think Sean Armstrong has been solid enough. When he comes into a game, I don't feel like there's a strong chance the lead is going to get given up. Armstrong, 3.51 ERA. The batting average against has been lights out. But look, Webb, 4.71 ERA. I think I have a point. With Webb. Ethan, I hope they do trade for a closer, but I don't know if they're going to. We'll see what happens. I feel like they've got to at least go get, if you're not going to get a bona fide closer, go get a solid 8th inning guy, right? Go get a guy that's been involved in pressureful situations. It doesn't have to be 9th inning, but at least an 8th inning, a high holds guy, something like that. I don't know if you want to go get a top closer and have to give up a bunch of prospects, especially if it's only a half-season rental like a Helsley. I don't even know if Helsley's going to be available with how well the Cardinals are playing. Shoot, we'll see what happens. I feel like I did with Chapman in 23. That's actually a really good comp with Webb and Chapman. Chapman, although I feel like he was either going to be completely lights out or he was going to totally mess up the game, totally melt down. Wildness, whatever it is. Jacob Webb, I feel like if it's a 1, 2, 3 inning, he got lucky. With Chapman, I felt a little different. I will say that. Paranormal Lockdown, appreciate the follow, man. Thank you. We got somebody in Vegas in the Discord. Oh, is that Gary? Man, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. We'll have to see what's up. I think I told y'all I'm actually going to be on the road for work a little bit. So y'all will see me posting up a little bit differently over the next few days. Off day tomorrow, but we'll be back on Tuesday. Be a little bit of a different setup, though. But look, the grind never stops here right on Rangers. The grind never stops. Why is Martin not our closer? I think he kind of is. I think they're doing the weird, matchup thing, closer by committee. I think Martin was definitely used, yesterday? He was used yesterday, so maybe they're trying to not throw him back-to-back days. Kind of remember, I don't know if you can remember this, I do. They used Martin like 3 days in a row, and then he had the popping in his elbow. So my thought with Martin is they're going to be really careful with him moving forward. I don't think they're going to try and push it with Martin at all. I don't know. We'll see what their plan is with him, but I'd imagine they're going to try and steer clear of overusing him at this point. Yeah, Joshua, I'm with you, man. Anytime we have Webb in the ball game, 100%, I'm thinking to myself, I just hope that we can only give up a run. And if we have a 2 or 3 run lead, even better. 4 or 5 run lead, I'd probably feel more comfortable. If it's a 1-run game, I'm not feeling awesome about Jacob Webb. He did great today, so we got to give him some love, give him his flowers. He definitely pitched well today. I'm just saying, look, in terms of reliable options, no, I'm not feeling awesome when Jacob Webb comes in a ball game. Hobie Milner, 2 innings, 2 shutout innings for Milner, 171 ERA. Where does that rank among all relief pitchers? Let me see if I can pull up relief pitcher ERA here and see if we can get to the bottom of this. Who are the MLB relief pitcher leaders ERA-wise? So relief pitchers, who do we got? This is going to be crazy without like qualifying. Let me see here. I'm on like some fantasy website. Come on now. Let me see if I can pull this up for you, y'all. I'll get comments while we going. Did they call Dunning back up at any point? I don't think so, unless they specifically want Dunning in like a long relief role. But maybe they would call Dunning up if Latz has to go on for any reason. Maybe they would call Dunning up for that. But I don't really know any other scenario there where Dunning would come up. All right, you got to, let me see. You got to have qualified. All these guys aren't qualified. Come on now. Whatever, y'all. I'm not going to be able to figure it out. He's got to be 171 ERA. That's crazy. It's crazy. How much more time for Josh? What are you referring to? For Josh Young, Josh Smith? Who are we talking about? Garcia was good, but he had some rocky outings 100%. This team designates a great reliever as a closer, and all of a sudden that reliever starts to struggle. Yeah, it's kind of why I think, though, it's actually a good point. Correa, appreciate it. It's actually, I think, why they maybe haven't put a label on it. I think that they're kind of playing a little bit of matchups right now. Spores. I think Spores is going to be back in early July. About a week ago, he said that he was kind of at that spot, like think the very beginning of spring training. So that would be like mid-February. So he's, I think, about 5 weeks away. So I think early July, he'll probably be around middle of the summer. Antonio, I think that's pretty good. Hey, Chase, appreciate the gift, man. Appreciate the GGs. It was a good game today, most certainly. Mason, I think they're pretty high that we trade Tyler Mahle. I really can't see the Rangers not moving on from Tyler Mahle, even if they have a shot to make the playoffs. I just think Tyler, with the half season of control that he has left, you're not going to probably re-sign him. I don't think they will. With Jack Leiter, with Kumar Rocker, with all these up-and-comers, I really don't think you need to spend a bunch of money on Tyler Mahle. You have a lot invested in Eovaldi. You have a lot invested in DeGrom. By the way, Latz is fine. A little cut on the thumb. That's Evan Grant reporting. Let me see here. I might freeze up. Yeah. So I think we're all the way good with Latz. I think he's going to be back. I think they got to put a little Band-Aid on it, but there was a little cut on the thumb. Latz pitched great today. I think we better talk about him for a second. Latz was outstanding. The dude had 7 strikeouts today. I mean, I know he gave up 2 earned runs. Wasn't Jacob Webb allowing that a little bit? Jacob Webb, I think, allowed one of those runs to score. But Latz, look, 3 1/3, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 7 Ks. I mean, the dude was filthy today. He had it going. I know the box score doesn't look incredible, but he really did pitch great. I mean, it was 3 innings, no earned runs, 6 strikeouts. The 4th inning got a little messy for him. Maybe the cut on the thumb had a little bit to do with that, but very impressed with what we got from Jacob Latz today. Bullpen, absolutely. You got to pump them up as well. No earned runs for the bullpen after Latz. Webb, Milner, Armstrong, Garcia, all throwing up zeros today. And only 4 base runners allowed by the bullpen after Latz. You had Webb allowing 1 hit, Milner allowed 2, Garcia allowed 1. 5 hits. 4. Sorry, not mathing well today. 4 hits by the pen, and that was in 5 2/3 innings. Pretty solid, man. Pretty solid. Evo, I think, is going to be back for the homestand. I don't know if he's going to pitch on the road at all, but I think he's going to be back for the homestand. I don't know if he'll pitch this next weekend. I haven't heard a lot of updates on Evo, honestly. Haven't heard a lot of updates on him, but I would imagine he's going to be back within the next week or so. That's what I hope, at least. All right, we keep going. Drop a comment, drop a question. You got something you're wondering about? I'll be happy to talk about it. I got a couple more topics to get to, but I'll definitely keep checking the comments as we go. We're doing pretty good on time, too, about 45 minutes in. This is perfect. Let's look at the box score. Josh Smith, 2 for 5 on the day. Haggerty, 1 for 5. Seager, we talked about Siegs, 0 for 4, average below 240 now. OPS sitting right there, even at 700. Corey, not in a good way right now. 0 for roughly his last 25. Not great, but you know that he's going to come through. He's too good of a hitter to be held down for long, but it is concerning. Not a whole lot you can do. You gave him the day off yesterday, and he goes 0 for again today after the day off. Maybe an off day will do him some good, but it's not looking great right now. Not looking great. We do need to talk a little bit about some of the numbers as you read into the box score a little deeper. 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position. I really don't know, going back to, I think it was the 7th inning. Let me see if I can scroll back to it right now. So here was one breakdown that I wanted to do. So you've got the top of the 6th inning, right? Top of the 6th inning. Evan Carter singles, Jake Berger singles. Alejandro Osuna's up. Alejandro Osuna is cold. He squares to bunt, pulls it back. Why are we not automatically bunting with Alejandro Osuna and runners on first and second? That does not make any sense to me. It is at that point a one-run game. You know that all you do is play close games. Why would you not try and get the runners to second and third with a bunt there? And one thing that I have said as an excuse is a lot of these guys don't practice bunting in the minors. You know, all these call-ups, they're big-time hitters in the minors. They're not, bottom of the order, move the runner over hitters. Osuna, when he played for AAA and for AA, dude's hitting first, second, and third. So I kind of get it. But at this level, Alejandro Osuna right now, in the middle of a 1 for 18 slump, needs to be bunting the ball. And so I don't get why in the top of the 6th inning, first and second, nobody out, the bottom of your order up, I just don't understand why you're not going to the bunt there. He kind of squared around to do it. I thought they were doing it. I was pumped. It's like, yes, we're going to manufacture a run here to go up 4-2. Instead, the inning just totally melted down from there. You had Osuna strike out, Jonah Heim walked, and then you had back-to-back strikeouts by Smith and Haggerty. It just can't happen. And look, I don't know if Bochy is ever going to change the philosophy. I know he loves playing for the big inning, but at what point are you going to say to yourself, we don't have dudes that are clutching up with runners in scoring position last year. We have got to manufacture a run. I don't know what it's going to take, but it's frustrating. It's that 6th inning, I think, was just quintessential Rangers. 2 hits to lead off the inning. You strike out with nobody out, runners on first and second, and then you have runners on every base, and you strike out twice to end the inning. So, Chase, that goes along perfect with what you just said. Just too many strikeouts. And too many strikeouts where you needed to just put the ball in play. Where you absolutely needed to put the ball in play. Natalie says, I also think an outfielder needs to go and not one of the young guys. I've been saying it. I think it's got to be Adolis Garcia. I don't think that you got to get rid of Osuna or Carter. I think, in fact, let them play a little bit through the struggles. That would be my preference. I think you've got to make an outfielder, a little bit expendable, and I think that should probably be Adolis. But maybe with Osuna's struggles, I'm not going to be shocked if there's an Osuna demotion. Like maybe he'll get another couple of games, but I'm not going to be shocked if they send Osuna back down and keep Garcia up. We'll see what they decide to do. I really think, yes, Mason, they do need to trade Garcia at the deadline. Get as much value out of him as you can, and you will get more value out of Adolis if you trade him now. Here's why. He's got another year left on his rookie contract. If you wait to trade Adolis until next trade deadline, he's not going to hardly get you anything. And I think you could maybe trade him in the offseason, like this offseason, But I still think if you could trade him to an NL team that is contending, you could maybe get a little bit more value out of him than anything else. That's what I would do 100%. I think you can roll with Haggerty. I think you can roll with Osuna and all the young guys, but 100%, I would be trying to trade Adolis Garcia. So, Justin, we're on the same page. No, you're not going to trade him to an AL contender. You're going to hope to trade Adolis to an NL contender, hopefully an NL team that's kind of on the fringe, that maybe is thinking that they could turn him around. That happens all the time, by the way. There's like with Leote and the Mariners, I'm sure that the Mariners looked at Leote, looked at his swings, looked at his plate appearances, and said to themselves, we can turn this guy around. We can unlock this guy. And Leote has not been great with Seattle. They haven't unlocked him. But that happens, right? I mean, look at a couple of other guys like Patrick Corbin, for example. Like the Rangers saw something in Patrick Corbin. They said, I think we can unlock Patrick Corbin. I think we can introduce the cutter into his game. That was not a pitch that he had thrown a lot with Washington. And look at what we got him now. So that does happen. Sometimes a team looks at a player that's struggling, says we can fix him, and they're willing to go out and acquire him. I do think that that might happen with the Adolis. I mean, couldn't they just bunt somebody over or bunt somebody home way better than taking a strikeout? John, Alejandro Osuna's got to be able to bunt. I don't know why they're not practicing that with him, but I think Osuna profiles towards the bottom of the order. He's either your leadoff hitter or he's your number 9 hitter or a bottom of the order hitter. Osuna's got to be able to bunt. I know that the dude can rake and he can swing it, but with first and second, nobody out, I think Osuna is a prime candidate in a situation like that to bunt the ball. You're on the road. It's late innings. You're trying to tack on runs. You've got to be able to bunt from the bottom of the order. It's maddening. It's maddening at times, y'all. It really is. We keep going. 44, appreciate the comments. Yes. Can we get some small ball? Can we trade Adolis Garcia? Those are the two big things on the Christmas list for me. Will they trade for a slugger or a pitcher? Francisco, I'm going to go both. I think you need to go get a pitcher, but you also need to go get a legitimate bat. And I'm not talking about a Carson Kelly. You know what I mean? Francisco, appreciate the rose, by the way. Thank you, sir. Look, don't just call it good by getting like a Carson Kelly. No disrespect to Carson. We need a guy that legitimately is going to hit in the heart of the lineup. I really do think that. Keep going back to the box score here. Josh Young is just not in a good way right now, man. Just did not love a lot of the at-bats from him. I think he had one where he hit the ball pretty hard, but just swinging at bad pitches. He is hitting 087 in his last 23 at-bats. 087, y'all. Under 100. In his last 15 games, he's hitting under 200. He's hitting 173 with a 463 OPS in his last 15. I think that he needs a series off. We talked about it in the Discord. The dude needs a series off. It's very evident that they could be giving him a couple of days. I don't know if they need to do the Adolis Garcia treatment, but he needs a series off or at least a couple days off. Maybe you give him the off day tomorrow and you give him the off day on Tuesday. I think Josh Young is just in a bad way right now. We were talking about Josh Young. Like, is this guy a franchise cornerstone? And I'm not making a quick rush to judgment. I'm just throwing it out. I just want to see what y'all think. Is this guy still a franchise cornerstone? Is he a little bit expendable? We talked about potential trades. Is he a guy that maybe you look to deal? Maybe you look to trade him in a package to get something else. I mean, I don't know where we stand on Josh Young. I feel like Josh Young is a really good ball player. I'm not hating on him, but I just do wonder, what do the Rangers think about him? Is he absolutely franchise cornerstone third baseman, or is he a guy that is maybe expendable? You've got a lot of potential options. You've got Jake Berger who can play third base. Like, if it doesn't work out, you can always move Berger back to third base. You can go and get a first baseman. You've got Josh Smith. Dude can play third base. I don't know. Is Young potentially a little bit expendable as we look to win now? Right? That's the other thing, right? You are in win now mode. Is Josh Young a key piece of you making a run here to get to October and maybe compete for a World Series, or is he not? I would be very curious to see what the front office thinks about Josh and whether or not he truly is in the long-term plans, or if maybe they're kicking a few things around. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the latter. They're keeping everything open. They're keeping their options open at this point. I would like to see Bradford too. I think Bradford's throwing a simulated game in Minnesota, and then I think he's going to go out on rehab assignment. And so what I anticipate is he'll probably be back by late next week. I think late next week he'll be back. We know, John, thank you for bringing this up, because we have beat this into the ground. Cody Bradford's so good at Globe Life. Like, can his first start please be back at Globe Life? The dude dominates at Globe Life. On the road, he was not good last year, but Cody Bradford at Globe Life is like Tarek Skubal. Seriously. Dude's got like a 2 ERA at Globe Life, like an 8 ERA on the road. But Cody Bradford lights out when he pitches in the Arlington zip code, man. Seriously. Hey, CJ, thank you. I got this hat a while back, man. This was like a spring training hat, I want to say. I think this was a spring training hat like 2 or 3 years ago. I love this hat. Anything with the state of Texas on it, I'm immediately drawn to. That's why I love the logo behind me right here. Anything with the state of Texas on it, I just always gravitate towards. They need IKF, man. Remember when IKF won a Gold Glove when he played in a Rangers uni? That was a real thing. IKF, Gold Glove. I think it was in the COVID year, wasn't it? Yeah, I don't think the Rangers need IKF back. Young's last homer was on Mother's Day. Is that right? That's painful. That is painful, man. Let me look at his game log right now. April 24th. Let's see. May 7th. And then May 11th, May 13th, May 16th. May 16th is his last home run. He hasn't hit one since May 16th, man. That was against Houston. Yikes. Wowza. Not good. Not good. Yeah, IKF, Gallo, and Andrus, those were the dog days, man. Those were the dog days. Miguel brings up an interesting point. Remember when we were talking about Pete Alonso? Remember when Pete Alonso to Arlington during the offseason was kind of a thing, or at least gaining a little bit of traction? I mean, look, little did we know they weren't trying to spend anything like that in free agency. But how crazy would it be? Pete Alonso first base, Jake Berger third base. You got Josh Young still. Maybe you trade. I don't know. Pete Alonso's killing it for the Mets this year, though. Seriously killing it. Hey, Jake, appreciate the follow, man. Thank you so much. Hey, if you're hanging out right now and you haven't hit that follow button, whether you're on TikTok or YouTube, come on now. You see what the vibe's like. We're just hanging out, talking ball. You got to tune in again. Hit that follow button. We'll be back again on Tuesday for sure. For sure. To cover the Twin series, probably Wednesday, Thursday as well. We've been going live pretty much every day. I told y'all I was going to go like this. Like, I don't know if I'll go live every day. I don't know if every game I'll be live. Yep, every game pretty much. It's been great. You know what it was, though? It's you guys. Like, the support and the momentum that we're building here at the channel, here at Right on Rangers. It's almost been like, I got to take advantage. Honestly, you guys are a big part of that, though, all the support you've been given. Why hasn't Caleb Bosley pitched in a while? The only thing I could surmise from that, and I'm not trying to dump on Bosley, but I think Bosley is a guy you're throwing when you are way behind. I think that is how Texas probably views him. They want to pitch him when the Rangers are down 5-6 runs. And because Texas pitches super well and they play close games, literally nonstop, I don't think you want to put Bosley in a close game. Andy, I'm with you. I would like to see Josh Smith stick around. Like I said, in I think 44, you mentioned it, like Josh Smith plays a great third base. That's why I kind of wonder, is a guy like Josh Young potentially expendable? Could you transition Sebastian Walcott to third base? We've been talking about Sebastian Walcott to the outfield. I think a lot of things got to be in play for Texas. You have got to maximize this window where you have DeGrom, Evo, and you have a really solid young core of players. Josh Young, I do consider to be in a really, really solid core in terms of young guys around the league. But I don't know if the Rangers are going to give time for all these guys to figure it out or not. I don't know if they're going to give Josh Young a long runway to figure it out. If you could go trade and, for example, get a Nolan Arenado, or you could go trade and get a Brendan Donovan. Would you trade Josh Young to get Brendan Donovan? Like, that's the kind of stuff we're talking about here. I probably would do that trade. If I could get Brendan Donovan, but I had to give up Josh Young, I'm probably doing it as much as I love Josh Young. Like, Brendan Donovan can play everywhere. He's like, he's like a major, I don't know how to say this in the best way, but he's like Josh Smith on steroids, Brendan Donovan. That's how I feel about him. Like, I think Josh Smith is very solid. I love Josh Smith. I love the versatility. Brendan Donovan, to me, is like Josh Smith on steroids. Like, I think having him would be a huge upgrade. You could play him in the outfield. You could play him at second, third. You could play him everywhere. I would give up a Josh Young to get a Brendan Donovan. Young did miss a lot of time last year. I don't know, Natalie, how you're saying that, like if it's an excuse or what, but for me personally, I think Josh Young has been given a lot of opportunity to succeed, and I'm not saying we give up on him. In fact, he could very easily turn it around. I do think you probably got to give him a day off here with how bad he's been over the past 2 weeks, but I'm not saying get rid of him tomorrow. I am saying I'm just interested how they view him. Do they view him as a guy that you have to keep around and sign super long term? Or are they considering him in some different scenarios where maybe you're trying to go make a big splash and Josh Young, a major league third baseman, you got to potentially let him go? I don't know. He is a guy that I love, but I would be okay letting go of if we are getting like a bona fide bat, a bona fide closer. I would probably be okay with that. So CJ, yes. Jake, yes, his numbers in May were definitely solid. He can be a very good baseball player. He was the all-star third baseman in 2023, man. Like, he's a great player. He's a solid player. I would ask the question, can you win a World Series without Josh Young? I think it's a great question. Can you win a World Series without him? And that's, I think, what you got to do with everybody. Can you win a World Series if you subtract this guy? Maybe you use him to get better somewhere else. That's the question I ask with a lot of these players. Can you win a World Series without Adolis Garcia? I think you can. Maybe not in 2023, but I think you can win a World Series without Adolis Garcia in the next 2 to 3 years. I think you can do it. Keep going. Rangers don't let go of the top draft picks often, especially if they were quick to MLB. That's true. That's true. Justin, that's a fair point. It's a fair point. So maybe they do view Josh Young as a little bit untouchable. I don't know. Again, that's why I'd love to be a fly on the wall in some of those conversations, man. All right, hey, let's go to scores around the league. I know we already talked about Astros losing. The Mariners, let's see if that game went final yet. Mariners beat LA 3-2, so they snapped a 5-game skid. The Athletics are playing right now. Is that right? Or did they already play? Or maybe they didn't play today. I don't know. I'm not seeing the A's score anywhere. Help me out if I'm just totally whiffing on it. A's won 5-1. A's won 5-1. Okay. So we had Seattle winning, the A's winning, Angels lose, Astros lose, Rangers, of course, win. So tomorrow, nothing going on Rangers baseball-wise. Let's see who else plays in the AL West tomorrow. Looks like the Angels and the A's are going to beat up on each other. The Mariners play the Diamondbacks in Arizona. So we'll do some scoreboard watching tomorrow. But otherwise, Astros off. And the Rangers, of course, are off on Tuesday. Tyler Mahle is going to be the starter for the Rangers. I don't know if Mahle has faced his former team yet or not. Looks like there's a few guys that have numbers against Mahle. Bader is 4 for 9 with 2 bombs. Harrison Bader, man, wow. Buxton is 1 for 3. Castro, the second baseman, is 1 for 2. Let's see. Jeffers, the Twins catcher, against Rangers probable starter Tyler Mahle, is 1 for 3 with a home run. Larnack, the right fielder for the Twins, is 2 for 5. And Wallner, the right fielder, is 0 for 2. The Twins have not announced a probable starter at this point, so I'm not going to be able to do the Twins side of things, or I should say the Rangers offense side of things. But the Rangers 31-35. The Twins are 35-30 at this point. And the Twins, over their last 10 ball games, are 5-5. They did win their last game. So look, solid team. Kind of like, feels like kind of like the NL version or the AL version of the Cardinals. Like the Cardinals, I think, were about 5-6 games over 500 on a pretty good roll. Twins are pretty good at home. 19-10 is their record. So we're playing a team that plays well. Most teams obviously have a better record at home than away. There's a few teams actually that don't, though. It's kind of wild. Like the A's, they have a worse home record than an away record. Kind of weird. The Mariners have a worse home record than they do away record. There's a number of teams actually, kind of surprising, that have a worse home record than away record. It's kind of wild. Like the Nats are pretty close to being better on the road. I think the Nats actually now have a better winning percentage on the road than they do at home. So it's different than you think. But look, at least we're able to go play a team that I think is pretty manageable. We're not facing some big juggernaut. We know the Twins went on a nice road, winning streak. I think it was 13 games earlier in the year, but the Rangers can hang with the Twins. In fact, I would submit they can hang with pretty much anybody in baseball. But you got to be a little bit better offensively. Hopefully some of the things they did against the Nationals in this series, we can continue to build off of them, man. Natalie, with you. 100%. Like I say this all the time. Would love to be able to be in on some of the conversations that these front offices have. The Twins, the Rangers, the Stars, would love to be in on it. Absolutely. Hope Chris Young is lying in his bed at night, tossing around. You know he is, 44. You know that he is. Chris Young, I'm sure, loses a lot of sleep. Bo, I'm with you. If they could score more, if they could just score 4 runs in a game, they would be all the way good to go. First series back against Minnesota, but I think some of the other players, they've just played on other teams, so maybe that's why he's faced them. Andy, I do think they would trade Mahle. I do think they would trade Mahle for, I think, the right deal, but also I think they're going to look to shop him anyways. Absolutely. So we'll be back Tuesday, y'all. Appreciate all the paid subscribers hanging out on TikTok. Again, everything, most of what we do almost is free of charge and always is going to be. But we do have a couple of perks for being a paid subscriber on TikTok. First of all, access to our exclusive Right on Rangers Discord chat, which has been complete fire since we got it started up. It's been great. And then also priority replies and comments on the lives. I'm pretty good getting to the comments, but as the show gets bigger and bigger, I'm definitely going to make sure that all paid subscribers and paid members on YouTube get priority with comments 100%. Tap that subscribe button, $2.99 a month, $2.99 a month. It's a small way you can give back. If you love what we're doing here and you really want an extra way that you can support the channel, if you feel led, hit that subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, I'll post the link to become a YouTube member in the chat. There it is right there. Copy and paste it into a browser of your choice. Again, totally optional. If you are looking, though, to give back a little bit to what we're doing here at the channel, you love what we're doing here at Right on Rangers, thanks for considering it. I appreciate y'all. And thank you again for everybody that's followed today. Hey, we just got a new follow. Appreciate that. Audie Beamer, thank you. And then everybody who's commented, who's liked, who's shared. That's awesome. We don't take that support for granted either. So thank you so much, guys. It's been a great show. Always a better show when the Rangers win. We've been going a little bit over an hour here, so we're going to wrap it up for today. Good to see all you guys. Let's enjoy the off day tomorrow. Let's enjoy it. And then we'll be back on Tuesday for more baseball in the great state of Minnesota. And then they'll be heading back to Arlington for the next weekend series I'm sure they're going to love to get back home after being on the road for 3 series in a row. Man, 2-4 on this road trip. You got to go, well, you got to sweep, right, to have a positive record on the road. If we can just make it, let's say 4-5, 4-5 on the road is not the worst thing. I would love if they could go 5-4. You win all 3. I mean, it's hard to sweep a team, especially a good team like the Twins, but that would be phenomenal. I'm going to say let's make it a goal. 4-5 on the road. That's a pretty good roadie. Right around 500. That ain't bad. That ain't bad at all. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Have a good Monday tomorrow. And as I always say to end every show, God bless and go Rangers.